How's it going, Top Forest TV? My name is Jack and welcome to my preview for Nottingham Forest versus Burnley, taking place at the City Ground tomorrow night. Might be tonight when you see this, but yeah, Carabao Cup action, second round, but it's the first for us, obviously now being a Premier League club. Same as last year, we enter at the second round, and we have a fellow Premier League side in Burnley who will be taking on, and then obviously in a couple of weeks' time, we actually playing Burnley in the league at home on a Monday night. So yeah, interesting game this. I was actually following sort of from kind of, I don't know, I guess it was towards the end of the Carabao Cup games tonight, and it's kind of put me in an excited mood for the Cup. I love a Cup. Like, I'd love to see Forest go deep in a Cup like we did last year, get to a semi-final. You know, I'd love to see, I mean, I would take a League Cup any day of the week. If someone said to me, Jack, Forest can win a League Cup in the next 5 years, I would be absolutely buzzing. I'd bite your hand off it. Same with, I'd take a Conference League spot. You know, all these like competitions and stuff that big team, like sort of the Big Six fans turn their noses up at. I would be over the moon for that. You know, I really want us to do well in this competition like we did last season. It kind of feels though like first season under Cooper, we did well in the FA Cup. I know Cooper wasn't there for the League Cup. That was Chris Shooton. I was there at the game where we got knocked out by Wolves. But you know, you've got, like, it seems to go, we do well in the League Cup, well in the FA Cup, bad in the League Cup, bad in the FA Cup, well in the League Cup. So, you know, if it follows that pattern, we'll probably get knocked out tomorrow night by Burnley and then get to the quarterfinals of the FA Cup and lose to City or something. But yeah, no, I've got up for the Cup, you know, like seeing the games tonight, like going to penalties and a couple of like upsets with Salford beating Leeds and Mansfield winning on penalties against Sheffield Wednesday. It's got me excited for it, and I really want us to do well. I did try and get tickets for this game, but unfortunately my dad's working. I think he's working tomorrow, a long day shift, so he wouldn't be able to get off in time to get to the game. We live about 2 hours away, so it's a bit of a shame, but hopefully we can get through and I can get to the next game. But yeah, I think in terms of this one then, it's going to be an interesting one. I think we won't play a full strength 11. I think, you know, we might see Horvath in goal. We might play some of our new recruits, maybe put in Montiel at right back or right wing back, Santos in the middle. You know, see what they can offer us a little bit more. I'm not sure if Worrell's red card applies to this game or not. But, you know, I don't think either side will really be playing a full strength 11. I think if you look at both sides and what they're looking to do this season, I think the league is probably the priority for both teams. A cup run is the bonus. So I think they'll probably look to try and go with a little bit of a weaker lineup. But I still think it'll be an interesting game, be one where both teams we wanted to win, wanted to go through to the next round. But I think for the team that goes out, I don't think they'll be too disappointed, depending on the sort of manner of the performance. You know, if we go out by losing 5-0 or whatever and get absolutely humiliated, I'll be absolutely furious. But yeah, going into this one, I think it'll be good for both sides to win it. But I think it's not really one that both teams are extremely, like, you know, hoping. So if you look at like Spurs, for example, they lost to Fulham, but they would have really hoped to go and win this without having Europe. It would be a competition they could have gone deep in, you know. So I think looking at it, it would be one that you know, for a club like you know, maybe if you look at Brentford, you look at Brighton, Tottenham, you know, teams like that who you know, they're not like looking for the league as something that they can win, but like an FA Cup or a League Cup would have been perfect for them. But yeah, overall, then I think you know, we won't play a strong 11, but I think it'll be strong enough to go out there and do the job. I feel confident we can go out there and beat Burnley. Burnley this season, they've only played twice in the league, losing both times. Lost against City opening day 3-0, and I think it was 3-1 or 2-1 against Villa last time out. So they're not in the best of form. We've obviously lost 2-1-1, so we're a little bit better than them. 3 games under our belt as opposed to 2 for them. Obviously they couldn't play at Luton away because of Luton's ground is still being sort of sorted out one thing and another, so that's not been something they've been able to do yet. But yeah, I think we're going to this one optimistic. I expect us to win, being at home. If we were away, I'd probably feel a little bit less confident. But being at home, I see us going there, getting the win, getting our name put in the hat for the next round. If we do go through, just looking ahead, I'd love to get a lower league side. I don't know, just because it gives us a chance to then go on and move on again to the next round. But then you look at Leeds, they got humbled by Salford, so you never know. But I don't want another big team, because we play the big teams week in, week out now. Like, if we're back in the Championship, say if this, we never got promoted and we're still in the Championship, the novelty of playing a big team at home or whatever, or even away, it's exciting. But now we do that week in, week out. I'd love to play against a lower league side. I don't know who's still in it, really. I think Lincoln are still in it, and Lincoln is not too far away from where I live. So if we could get an away game at Lincoln, I would be opposed to trying to get tickets for that one. But yeah, I don't know. I like the Carabao Cup. It comes under a lot of flack by some fans, but like I mentioned before, as a Forest fan, I've never turned my nose up at any competition. Like my dad said when he was younger, back in the 90s, he wasn't my age. He was a bit older than me then. But, it's kind of like he was saying he was going to Wembley quite a few years in a row sort of thing, or within a short period of time, because we're getting to League Cup finals. So it is a competition that we do have pedigree in. It is one that kind of Forest fans do kind of hold a bit closer to us than maybe, some of your other sets of supporters. But overall for me, I want us to go out there and I want us to try and win it. Burnley are a good side, obviously. Vincent Kompany's got them playing quite a nice brand of football, keeping the ball well and pressing high when they don't have the ball. So it'll be an interesting one, but I do feel confident in our ability to go and get the victory in this one. For me, I think Horvath will start in goal, back five of Montiel. I think Panzo's still at the club. I could be mistaken for that one. Maybe Mbiso. Bolly could maybe get in there. A lot of our back sort of centre halves are injured, so it'll be interesting to see how we negotiate that situation with sort of Felipe being out, Niakate being out. I know McKenna took a knock against Man United, and Worrell could be out with suspension if it does carry on into this competition. So you've got to look at that and see what might happen with that one. At left back, I wouldn't be opposed to seeing Ola Aina play there. I know he played against Man United, but with Nuno Tavares looking likely to come in, if Ola Aina does look a bit tired for the Chelsea game at the weekend or picked up a knock or whatever, we do have a player who can come in and play that position, so it's not the end of the world. And obviously, I'm not sure what's going on with Harry Toffolo. I don't know whether he's able to play at the minute or if he's suspended pending the investigations of the betting scandal that he's been involved in. So I don't know too much on that side of things, but I think Ola playing there, it's not too bad for me. In the midfield, I think Checo Kouyaté can start in there for me. Ruben Fruin is looking like he's going to be going to Bologna in replacement for Nicolas Dominguez. So I wouldn't really start him. I mean, I wouldn't be against seeing Mangala in there or Danilo. But I don't know. One of those two, I think, with Santos in there as well. Maybe it might just be Santos and Kouyaté. I'd love to see Santos start. I think he looks like a really exciting prospect from all accounts that I've been hearing from Chelsea fans and people who know what they're talking about in terms of South American football. So that looks good. But, either you sort of go with the two of Santos, who's maybe could be a bit more advanced, and Kouyaté can be a bit more sort of sitting back, or maybe you could go with those two, and then maybe Mangala in there as well. I would definitely have up front Chris Wood. I know he's played against Burnley before. He knows what they're about. Back in the Sean Dyche days, it's kind of changed a little bit, but I don't think I want to really start Awoniyi in this one, unless we have to, given the fact that Awoniyi is doing so well in the league. I'd hate for him to pick up a knock in a game with a League Cup against Burnley. It wouldn't be ideal. I'd love to see Chris Wood start up there. Alanga, get him starting, maybe out on the left. And then on the right, for me, well, it's a tricky one really, because we've got Johnson, who might be leaving, so it could be a chance for Johnson to play his last game for the club. So if that is the case, I would start him so I can say farewell to the Forest fans. I'll be devastated if he goes, don't get me wrong. I love Johnson. But I mean, if we can get 50 million for him, reinvest it correctly, I don't think it'll be too much of a loss if we can get the right man in to replace him. But it's still going to be hard to take. If it's not Johnson's last game, then maybe you can play Nico Williams in a more advanced role down that right-hand side. Just to rack my brain as who can play there, because to be honest with you, I haven't really got too many wingers, which might be why we're looking to bring in someone like Callum Hudson-Odoi. I could maybe see us going maybe sort of a Chris Wood up top with Alanga playing off him, sort of running on behind, and then maybe Danilo in a more advanced position in behind, or maybe Santos in behind, kind of thing. But I'd kind of go a bit more of a weaker team rather than a full strength lineup with Chelsea in mind. But I think that team can still go out there and do the business for us. But yeah, if I had to go with a scoreline, I would go Forest 2, Burnley 1. Hopefully goals from, let's go with Chris Wood and, actually no, I'm going to go with Santos and Alanga getting their first goals for the club. But yeah, that's all from me. This video, if you did enjoy, smash the like button, subscribe if you are new around here and you have enjoyed what you're seeing on the channel. Comment down below what your predictions are, who you think is going to start and all that good stuff. Thank you for watching, and come on, you Reds.